In the fourth part of entity relationship modeling video lectures, we are going to discuss design issues of ER modeling. There are 4 design issues while designing ER diagrams. First is use of entity sets versus attributes. Second is use of entity sets versus relationship sets. Third is using binary relationships versus n-ary relationship sets. Fourth is placement of relationship attributes. So let us begin with the design issue 1, use of entity sets versus attributes. This design issue is concerned with the decision to be taken that whether to use an entity set for a composite attribute or keep it as an attribute. For example, address consists of house number, street, city, state, province and zip code. Should it be an attribute of employees entity set or an entity set connected to employees entity set by a relationship? The decision can be taken on the basis of data needs of the organization or the semantics of the data. If the employees can have multiple addresses, then it should be a multi-valued attribute. But if the components of the address are needed to process the data, like finding out employees residing in a city or state, then address cannot be used as a composite attribute. It must be stored with its atomic value, so it must be defined as a separate entity set with a relationship with employees entity set. So here is the employee entity set with its attributes, and just look at the address attribute. Here it is shown as a multi-valued attribute, but instead of using address as a multi-valued attribute, it can be used as an entity set and it can be connected with the employees entity set with a relationship has address. So this is a design issue that forces us to take decision whether the attribute should be a multiple valued attribute or it is added as a separate entity set. Second design issue, use of entity set versus relationship sets. This design issue is concerned with the decision that whether the data object has to be added in the entity relationship diagram as an entity set or a relationship set. If an action occurs between two entity sets, then it can be defined as a relationship set in the ER diagram between the concerned entity sets. This analysis will let you understand that the specific attributes of the entity sets better represented as relationship attributes rather than the entity attributes. So this is the example. Here we have the course entity and student entity. So course and student entities are related like that students are enrolled in the courses or courses enroll students. So one thing is that it can be the attribute which connects the student and courses, it can be stored along with the entity or it can be stored separately with the relationship set. So enrolls can be a relationship set with information about the course and student by taking the course ID and student ID. So in the first diagram, the course ID is added in the student entity set to define the relationship, whereas in the second diagram the relationship set is defined with student ID and course ID as a separate relationship set to emphasize what kind of relationship these two entities are having, and this can be taken as a separate relationship set with its attributes. Third design issue is binary versus n-ary relationship sets. This issue is concerned with the decision that whether the relationship is to be binary or a ternary relationship. using two binary relationships allows partial information, and there are some relationships that are naturally non-binary. Let's look at the example here. Now look at this example. Here we have employees and here we have dependents. Now employees take the insurance covers and have their policies, and in the insurance covers they define the dependents which are going to be getting the benefit from the policy. So there is a ternary relationship between these three entities. The entities are employees, policies and dependents, and the relationship is covers, that which employee has taken which policy and which dependents are covered under the policy. So this is a ternary relationship. So it does not allow us to see that what type of policy is taken by which employees and which dependents are related to which policy is taken up by the employee. So if we break down this ternary relationship into two binary relationships, then the problem can be easier one. So here we have defined three entities: employees, policies and dependents, and the employees and policies are related with the relationship purchaser, and policies and dependent entities are related with the relationship beneficiary. So if we want to find out that which beneficiaries are related to which policies, then we can get the information from here. And if we want to see that which employees has purchased which policies, then from this relationship the information can be accessed easily. Last design issue is placement of relationship attributes. Now as you know that relationship can have attributes. The relationship attributes will define the details about the relationship between two participating entity sets. So the decision have to be taken that where the attributes of the relationship have to be placed. The attributes of one-to-one or one-to-many relationship sets can be associated with one of the participating entity sets rather than with the relationship set. If the entities that you are joining with a relationship, if they are either one-to-one or one-to-many cardinality, then the attributes which are related to the relationship set, they can be added to either of the entity sets related with the relationship. The decision of where to place descriptive attributes in such cases must reflect the characteristics of the enterprise being modeled. So it is not a general decision, it has to be dependent upon the enterprise or the organization that for which you are designing the ER diagram. So what is the requirements of the organization, according to that you can take the decision about where to place the relationship attributes. When an attribute is determined by the combination of participating entities rather than by the either entity separately, then that attribute must be associated with a many-to-many relationship set. So if the attribute is a combination of both the participating entity sets, then you cannot make that attribute part of one of those. You have to define a separate relationship set and associate the attributes with those. Let us understand this with example. Suppose we have these entities, department and employee. Now as you know that department and employee as HOD, it is a one-to-one relationship. That means only one HOD can be there for a department. So works relation for the role HOD is defined like this. Now see here that when you have to define that who is the HOD of this department, so it is one-to-one cardinality. So you can see here that the HOD ID is added here along with the department. So what this value is, it is the employee ID of that person who is working as a HOD for this department. So that means that HOD ID is the attribute which is related to the relation, but it is not, since this is a one-to-one relationship, so it is not added with the relationship, it is added with the one of the entity sets, and that is the department. Then next is instructor, courses and teacher. Now a instructor can teach multiple courses, so the relationship is teaches. So here we have the one to many relationship. Instructor is one and courses are many. So here again we have one to n relationship or one to many relationship. So the information that which course is taught by which instructor, that is defined here. This taught by attribute, it will contain the instructor ID who is teaching this course. So this is how you will define the attributes of 1:n relationship. Next is the relationship between students and courses, and since students and courses relationship is many to many, so you can see here that the information that which course the students are enrolled in, that is not stored with the student or that is not stored with the courses. So for defining this information that which student is related to which course, that is part of the relationship. So relationship name is enrolls, and this relationship set is having attributes student ID and course ID. So if you want to know that which student is enrolled for which courses, then you can get the information from the relationship and courses. And if you want to know that which course have which students, then you can again use this relationship set, and on the basis of the course ID you can select that which students are enrolled, and you will get the required information. So this is how we can understand that where to place the relationship attributes while defining the ER diagram. So these are the design issues of ER modeling. In the next video lecture we will discuss how to convert an ER model or ER diagram into a relational model.